If one of your friends is about to turn 30, you need to all dress in all black and celebrate the death to their 20s. And if you have a Disney annual pass, y'all need to have a photo shoot in front of the Haunted Mansion. We just did this with my friend Vanessa for her 30th birthday, and we did one of the Capture Your Moment sessions where a Disney photographer follows you around and takes pictures. And let's just say, we killed it. Also, when I tell you everybody loved our outfits, we could not go anywhere without somebody being like, oh my god, you guys look so good. Then after the photo shoot, you want to keep the procession going and do a monorail crawl around the Disney resorts. We stopped at the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and of course the Grand Floridian. Then in a final farewell to Vanessa's 20s, we gathered to watch the fireworks over Magic Kingdom and said goodbye to her youth. This was so fun and I highly recommend it for anybody that's about to turn 30, but just make sure you don't accidentally cause a pile up at the top of the escalator like we did.
Do we make it? We make it? We're good? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Back it up! Back it up! Shit! We're good!
Anyways, happy birthday, Vanessa, and welcome to the dark side. Ever wondered what it's like to take the Bright Line from Orlando to Miami? Well, let's find out. So the Orlando Bright Line station is located at the Orlando airport, and from there it is a 3.5-hour trip to Miami. Now, I've never taken the Bright Line before, I've always just drove to Miami, but when I went in February for my birthday, traffic was truly an abomination. Plus, the hotel I was going to be staying at charges $50 a night for parking. So I was like, you know what? Let's just take the Bright Line. Let's avoid the traffic. Let's avoid parking. Let's do it. Now, unlike the airport, you do not have to get to Bright Line super early. That was something I was kind of confused about. I was like, how early do I need to get there? But they literally open the doors for the train 10 minutes before it takes off. So as long as you're there like 10 minutes before it leaves, you're good. Security literally takes like 2 seconds. It's super quick. Now, your girl is cheap and did not want to spend a lot of money, so I bought the cheapest tickets, which were between $50 to $60 one way. And I gotta say, the seats here are really spacious. I was shocked. I'm used to airplanes being so tiny and so cramped, so it was really nice to have a lot of legroom. And speaking of a lot of space, the bathroom was huge. Oh my god, I walked in and I was like, this is gigantic. And also what was weird is to open and close the door, you press this button. And I was like, I don't know how much faith I have in this little button, but I guess I gotta do it. And then when you go to flush, you have to like wave your hand in front of this thing. I have never seen that as a way to flush a toilet before, but that's the way you do it on the Bright Line, I guess. Anyways, they do offer drinks and food for purchase, but I didn't get anything. And everything went by so smooth and so quickly. I was really surprised. Like, every time it stopped at a station, it literally stopped for like a minute and then it started going again. And the lack of traffic was truly chef's kiss. So I'd say Bright Line is a win. It's clean, it's spacious, it's comfortable, and you get to Miami in exactly 3.5 hours, which cannot always be said for driving. And the station just so happened to be a 20-minute walk away from the hotel I was staying at, so it all worked out. I just walked over to the hotel and boom, I was in Miami. Guess who came back to Miami again? So my cousin Kristen had a conference she wanted to attend in Miami, and since I live in Orlando, which is only a few hours away, I decided to hop on the Bright Line and go down and see her, which I just posted a video about what it was like riding the Bright Line, and if you want to check that out, it's on my page. Anyways, after a 3.5-hour trip on the train, I made it to Miami. Now, luck was on my side, because not only was the hotel we were going to be staying at only a 20-minute walk from the Bright Line station, but the weather was gorgeous this day. I thought it was going to be hot as hell in Miami because it usually is, but it was actually really nice weather. But this here was our hotel room. I always take the bed closest to the bathroom because your girl has to pee all the frickin' time. We stayed at the Intercontinental Miami, and this was our view. Very nice, very nice. Now, we didn't do much this day. We just kind of checked out the hotel and went and got some dinner. We thought about going to the pool, but didn't, and I wish we had because this is the weather we woke up to the next day. Gloom and doom, everybody. Now, luckily, it stopped long enough for us to walk to a nearby brunch spot I really wanted to check out, and pretty much as soon as we got seated, it started raining again. So thank God we picked indoor seating. Anyways, I ordered the French toast bites with Nutella on the side, and honestly, I'm not a big French toast person. I don't eat it very often, but I was kind of craving it, and this French toast was pretty good. Meanwhile, Kristen ordered whatever the heck this is. I know, I'm a great influencer and just so informative. Anyway, since the weather was ass, I was like, let me just do something indoors today, especially since Kristen had her conference she had to go to. So I hopped in an Uber and went to have a spa day. The spa I went to is the Lapis Spa at the Fountain Fontainebleau Hotel. I think that's what it's called. Miami locals, you can yell at me if I mispronounce that. Anyways, I was going to be getting a massage, but I got there a little early so that I could enjoy the I can't say that word. You know what I mean. Amenities, whatever. Also, one thing I really appreciate about this spa is they had plus size robes. Because I freaking hate when you go to a spa and it's the same size robe for everybody. And I just look at that tiny ass robe and I'm like, what do you expect me to do with this? So shout out to Lapis Spa for having multiple sizes. Anyways, the massage was really good and everything was so relaxing. So I really enjoyed my time here. The only downside I encountered is that one of the features I really wanted to enjoy was out of commission, as they put it. This rain room right here. So I didn't get to lie down and have rain drench me from above. Sad. But what wasn't sad was going to eat at Garden House afterwards. This was a restaurant I really wanted to eat at the last time I was in Miami, but we changed plans last minute, so I came this time. I ordered the grilled chicken and got a pina colada, and I do not know how to pronounce what Kristen got. I've tried to say it like 5 times while recording this voiceover, but I'm just gonna spare your ears and show you. Food here was really good, and watching this right now is making me sad because I'm really hungry and this looks so good. I just want to eat it, but I can't. Anyways, the next day it was time to go to yet another brunch spot, and this time I ordered my favorite brunch meal, chicken and waffles. I love chicken and waffles. I also got this drink that was much stronger than I expected. Miami, you're always trying to take me out. You are always trying to take me out with these drinks, but I did not puke this time. Thank God I held it together. Anyways, this is what Kristen got, and after brunch we went back to the hotel and decided to have a pool day. But Miami, you were not hot enough for the pool. Like, the weather was really nice, but it wasn't hot, so that pool was cold. So I was heartbroken because I really wanted to swim, and I even tried to go in, but I only made it like ankle deep before I gave up. I was like, nope, can't do this. So the next day was the day that we'd be leaving. Kristen actually had a super early flight. She left the hotel at like 4 a.m. or something like that. But my bright line back to Orlando wasn't until 2:45, which I regretted pretty instantly because checkout was at noon. So I had a few hours to kill before my train, which would have been fine if I wasn't carrying around this heavy ass backpack. And yeah, I probably could have left it at the hotel, but I had it in my head that it was going to be easy to walk around for hours with this backpack. But no, it sucked. I actually ended up going to the bright line early and just hung out there for like an hour. And you guys, I was covered in so much sweat. I had to go to the bathroom and change my clothes. I was like, I cannot put the people next to me on the train through this. These clothes are disgusting and covered in sweat, and I wouldn't want to sit next to somebody wearing them, so I went and changed. Hence why you see me in a different shirt here. But anyways, that was my trip to Miami. Short and sweet, not too crazy, but I always love coming down here, so let me know what I should do on my next trip to Miami. You know what we need to talk about more? PMDD. Most of you watching this probably don't even know what that is, but don't worry. I got you. So PMDD stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And what it is a severe reaction to the changes in your hormones during your menstrual cycle. Symptoms include things like depression, panic attacks, rage, and thoughts of ending your life. And symptoms mostly occur in the time frame between ovulation and when your period starts, although it varies per person. Now, most people tend to assume that it's like PMS and that you just get a little cranky before your period starts, but it is much, much worse than that. It's more like PMS on steroids. You get angry for no reason, you cry for no reason, you worry for no reason, and in severe cases, you constantly think about ending your life. PMS is more like a mild annoyance, but PMDD tries to ruin your life. What's even worse is that a lot of people have never heard of it, or they just don't believe it exists. It is often misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder, or it just gets swept under the rug because it's just a part of being a woman. It is also very hard to find doctors who are educated on it, and there's no cure. There are treatment options though. Those include antidepressants, therapy, birth control, chemical menopause, and a hysterectomy. But it is a very complicated disorder, and while one treatment might work for somebody else, it's not going to work for everyone. Like me, for instance, I tried every single treatment option you can think of except chemical menopause, and that's only because my insurance wouldn't cover it. If it did, I definitely would have tried it. But I finally had to end up getting a hysterectomy, and that was the only thing that ever brought me any relief. I had a very severe case. Like, I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it past age 28 because I was in so much pain every month. I just wanted to end it all. I had no will to live. I was just struggling all the time, and I wasn't afraid of death. I did not care about my future, and I did not want a future if it just meant that I was gonna suffer for decades until my body finally went into menopause. But I somehow found the strength to fight. I would literally be screaming at doctors. Like, if you guys have seen my Francine videos, Francine is literally my PMDD manifested into a character. Like, that was literally me during a PMDD episode. I would scream at the top of my lungs, and I would tell doctors that they were worthless and I was gonna die if they didn't help me. And finally, just a few months before I turned 29, I got a hysterectomy. I made it past 28, and my life has been so much better ever since. Like, it's truly been like night and day, and honestly, I don't really like to talk about PMDD anymore, because when I think back to those days, all I remember is darkness and misery and suffering. It was just a terrible, terrible dark time in my life, and honestly, I don't even remember a lot of it because I've blocked a lot of it out. Like, I just don't like revisiting that part of my life, and I don't like going back to that headspace and remembering all the things I felt and all the things I did. But despite it being uncomfortable, despite me not liking to revisit that part of my life, I still talk about it because it needs to be talked about. Like, one of the things I'm most proud about with my platform, and I'm gonna get emotional talking about this, is how many women have messaged me because they've seen my videos and they've been like, oh my god, I didn't even know PMDD existed until your video, and now everything makes sense, and now I don't feel as alone. When I was starting out with my journey, there was no one. Nobody talked about PMDD. Nobody knew what PMDD was. I had to suffer in silence. I always felt so alone and like I was going insane because when you tell people, you know, my period makes me wanna, you know, I just wanna end it all because of my period. They're just like, you're being so overdramatic. Periods are not that bad. And you just feel so alone. Like, I had to figure everything out on my own. I had to diagnose myself with PMDD and then go to a doctor and be like, I think I have this, and they're like, what is